Have you ever had a moment in your life when a married woman you know looked at you a little differently? She might not have said anything, but her deep and steady gaze created a strange restlessness and thrill within you. You might be in deep doubt at this moment, wondering if it's just common courtesy or mere friendship, or if some other secret feeling is silently playing deep within her heart. In reality, understanding a woman's mind is one of the world's toughest mysteries, especially when a married woman starts to like someone secretly. Her social limitations and surrounding walls prevent her from directly saying, "I love you." But remember, while the face may lie, body language never lies. You know, her every silent gesture, every unspoken word, and every hidden sigh screams out all the secret longings and unexpressed thoughts of her heart. Today, I will talk to you about some sensitive and very secret signals that, if you know them, you can easily feel how much that woman secretly feels for you and how intensely she is thrilled for you in her heart. However, before revealing the main mystery, I have a small but special request for you. If this video increases your heartbeat even a little bit, or if it matches a past moment in your life, be sure to give it a like. Your subscription encourages me to delve deeper into such complex psychological topics. So, without delay, subscribe to the channel now and become a part of our small family. Many of you probably search YouTube constantly for "What signals do married women give when they fall in love?" or "What signs indicate she secretly loves you?" Believe me, these titles are not just words. They are the echo of thousands of repressed questions from our subconscious minds, because at the end of the day, we all want to know what our reflection looks like in the mirror of the person opposite us. Today, I will explain all these points very simply, relating them to the small moments of your life. When a woman secretly loves someone, changes in her pupils, her graceful way of speaking, and even the slight rise and fall of her breath in your presence tell many unspoken tales. Perhaps she is sitting quietly right next to you, but beneath that calm exterior, a storm of intense emotions is raging within her just for a moment of your close attention. If you pay a little conscious attention, her mysterious silence will tell you in your ear how much a flood of deep love has risen in her heart for you. So, without further delay, let's learn one by one the 7 main signs of a married woman's silent attraction, which she expresses in her every action and breath, even if she doesn't say it. The first and most important sign is a sudden and mysterious change in behavior. Brother, have you ever observed deeply that a married woman you know has suddenly started behaving a little differently in front of you? Suppose she used to talk to you very normally before, with perhaps just a hi, hello, or about necessary work. But is the situation different now? Does she smile at you unnecessarily now when you are around? Notice, there's a strange playfulness and a magical aura in the corners of her eyes now. Whenever you appear before her, you'll see her entire being light up with an otherworldly radiance in an instant. However, the roots of this mystery go deeper. Sometimes the opposite can also happen. She might suddenly become sulky over very small or trivial things you say. She might suddenly become moody over a simple joke of yours, show slight anger, or find fault with your small tasks unnecessarily. At that moment, you might be extremely confused, thinking, "What happened suddenly? Is she extremely annoyed with me?" But honestly, brother, she is not annoyed with you at all. Rather, her body and mind are going through a storm of intense feelings, like an invisible tempest. In psychological terms, when a woman feels intense attraction towards someone mentally, the secretion of hormones like dopamine and oxytocin in her brain increases manifold. These hormones create a strange addiction, extreme thrill, and a sense of pleasure in people. Especially when a married woman faces this situation, she falls into a huge dilemma. On one hand, she has social status and family responsibilities. On the other hand, she has that irresistible and primal attraction towards you. It is this intense mental struggle that makes her unable to understand how to behave in front of you. When she sees you, she feels a strange peace and a heavenly joy from within, which unknowingly reflects in her smile and the sparkle in her eyes. And then, out of fear of social shame or the fear of her secret being revealed, she becomes still and quiet like a stone. This ebb and flow of her behavior, these sudden small sulks and angers, followed by melting into a magical smile, are not ordinary or coincidental events, brother. This is the signal from her repressed subconscious mind that screams that your mere presence stirs a tempestuous wave of love in her heart. She simultaneously wants to hide this socially forbidden feeling, And then her subconscious mind wants to let you know that a little proximity to you creates a sweet resonance throughout her body and a new melody in her heartbeat. This change in her behavior is the first unspoken signature of her deep affection for you. Now let's move to the second sign, which will further increase your heartbeat. This is repeatedly adjusting her appearance or attire in front of you. Brother, have you ever experienced a situation where a married woman, while talking to you, suddenly keeps adjusting the hair behind her ears or runs her fingers through her hair? Or have you noticed that as soon as she comes in front of you, she unconsciously tries to fix her dupatta or the end of her sari? Sometimes she plays with the chain around her neck with her fingers. Or sometimes, becoming a bit nervous, she lightly moistens her lips. We men often dismiss these as mere habits. But no, brother, these are not ordinary habits at all. Especially when a married woman repeatedly does this in front of you, you can be sure that her subconscious mind is giving you a special signal that she cannot express in words. Psychology says that when a woman feels deep and intense mental attraction towards a man, her body itself starts to exhibit a kind of biological reaction. She doesn't do these things deliberately or intentionally. Rather, every cell of her body responds to your presence with a special vibration. Her subconscious mind has a strong desire that you see her as the most attractive and beautiful woman in the world. When you look at her with a slightly deeper gaze, an electric current flows through her body. Unable to cope with the excitement, pleasure, and the turmoil within her at that moment, she becomes a bit nervous or shy. And from that irrepressible shyness comes this desperate effort to keep herself tidy. At this moment, a strange and sweet pull works within her. On one hand, there's her long-standing social cover and conservatism, and on the other hand, there's an intense longing for your proximity, her repeatedly moistening her lips. Adjusting her sari end, or playing shyly with her hair, are actually the unspoken love accumulated deep within her heart, a silent yet powerful plea to capture your full attention. If you can observe these small bodily languages with deep attention, you will easily understand how thirsty and eager she is to be intimately with you, despite all the veils she keeps on her face. The third sign is as beautiful as it is thrilling to experience. It is the sudden appearance of an otherworldly softness or a magical sweetness in her voice when she speaks in front of you. Brother, has it ever happened to you that a married woman you know speaks in a very normal, serious, or slightly loud voice with everyone else, but as soon as she comes in front of you or talks to you, her voice becomes as soft and moist as cotton? Notice that every word she speaks then seems to blend into an unknown magical melody, bringing a strange peace to your ears. You might think this is just ordinary courtesy or a coincidence, but believe me, this is not ordinary acting. This is a wonderful and subtle chemical change happening within a woman's body. Deep psychological research has shown that when a woman begins to dedicate herself mentally to a man or feels an intense mental pull towards him, a different kind of affection, care, and longing works in her subconscious mind. And due to that strong affection, her voice automatically becomes deep and extremely soft. This is a change she cannot control even if she wants to. If you listen to her words very subtly and with deep attention, you will surely see that when she pronounces your name, there is a different kind of peace, a secret longing, and an unspoken sense of possessiveness mixed in that call. Even her smile at that moment has a soft tremor, which seems to bloom like a spring breeze only in your presence. It feels as if an unknown warmth is mixed in every fold of her words, which sends a sweet thrill through your heartbeat. She may not want you to easily understand her secret affection or hidden liking due to social shame or relationship complications. But her subconscious mind repeatedly informs you of that forbidden attraction through this incredible softness of her voice. This is actually the first silent and pure surrender of her heart. The spoken words may be very ordinary or mundane, like, "How are you?" or "Are you feeling well today?" But behind those very ordinary words, the magical tone clearly tells you how much she considers you different and special compared to everyone else in the world. The softness of her tone proves how much a vast space of love she has reserved for you in the deep forest of her heart. Let's talk about the fourth sign now, which means you have reached very close to her heart. This is losing her breath's rhythm or becoming suddenly intensely nervous in your presence.
Brother, this is a very deep and sensitive matter, which is not usually noticed by everyone. Imagine you suddenly stand very close to that person, or while talking, you suddenly look steadily into her eyes. If at that moment you see her become completely still, then understand that something is happening. Her words seem to stop midway. For a moment, the world around her seems to have stopped. If you notice very subtly, you will see that her chest movements have increased significantly. Her breathing has become much heavier and faster than before. Brother, this is not a fabricated story. This is a completely scientific and psychological truth. Medical science says that when a person is very close to the person of their
Dreams or someone they like very much, their heartbeat increases many times beyond normal. Blood circulation becomes so fast that the demand for oxygen in the lungs increases. And precisely because of this intense physical reaction, her normal breathing rhythm is suddenly broken. At that moment, you might see her repeatedly lowering her eyes in shyness when trying to look at you. Her thin lips might tremble slightly, as if she desperately wants to say something important, but ultimately cannot. At this special moment, she cannot express her feelings in words even if she wants to, because she is in such an overwhelming emotional state that losing language is natural. At that moment, an intense longing and eagerness work in her heart. She might be thinking, if you give her some courage now or gently touch her hand and say a beautiful word of love, she might reveal all the unspoken secrets of her life at your feet today. This frequent blinking and her constant shrinking or becoming nervous in your presence, what purer feeling could a woman have than this? If you ever face such a situation, you can be sure that woman is not only in reality, but also constantly thinking about you in her secret, imaginative world. Her heavy breathing whispers to the wind how much a wildfire of love is burning in her repressed heart, which she carefully nurtures away from public eyes. Let's talk about the fifth sign now, which is most important for a conscious and intelligent man to perceive. This is giving very subtle hints or magical gestures in between conversations. Brother, have you ever thought deeply why women often prefer to speak indirectly rather than directly? In reality, our traditional social system, their innate nobility, and inherent shyness prevent them from uttering the word, I love you, at every step. Especially for a married woman, the barriers and social walls are much higher and stronger. So they always weave a magical net of words. Even if they don't propose directly, they leave some signals or clues in their conversations that you should easily understand who her heart's every beat longs for. She might casually say during a conversation, spending this short time with you makes even my restless mind feel calm. Or perhaps with a shy smile, she'll say, your way of talking is truly wonderful, completely different from everyone else. Or sometimes, with a deep sigh, she might look into your eyes and absent-mindedly say, if I had someone understanding and caring like you beside me in my life, then perhaps I wouldn't need anything else. Brother, although these words might sound very ordinary or like simple praise on the surface, a great deal of longing and intense desire is hidden deep within them. Through these small praises and sentences, she is actually trying to clearly convey to you how safe, complete, and satisfied she feels in your company. Her looking into your eyes at this time, that shy little smile, or suddenly turning her face away in shyness while talking, are not just poses or acting. These are the deeply yearning languages of her repressed mind. As a conscious man, you need to listen to these small hints with the ears of your heart and seize them, because these are not dialogues of ordinary friendship, but a silent and secret cry for something much deeper. Hidden in the folds of her indirect words is that eternal truth that she cannot speak due to social constraints or relationship entanglements, but she is constantly yearning to have you in her heart. She intensely desires that you understand her silent plea on your own and relieve her heart's burden. Now let's talk about the sixth sign, which is not only important, but also the deepest and most sacred part of a woman's heart. Brother, this deep longing of a woman for you, this intense pull, doesn't just mean external attraction or a strong physical desire. Its real meaning is continuous, pure love and a lifelong thirst for a safe haven. Brother, always write this one thing in the ledger of your life. When a woman is intensely attracted to a man mentally, she first looks for a safe home for herself in that man's eyes, especially for a married woman who might have been crushed by the pressures of family life for years, losing her own existence amidst duties. She secretly wants someone with whom she can freely pour out all her days' accumulated fatigue, pent-up sulks, and thousands of unspoken words without hesitation. She actually wants someone who respects her, not just as a woman, but measures her by her personality and intellect. She wants a trustworthy companion who will never push her aside with neglect and who will deeply value the cry hidden behind her silence. Her small sulks towards you, her repeatedly tidying herself up before meeting you, or that magical and miraculous softness in her voice while speaking, all these are her endless and desperate search for that long-lost safe haven. Psychology says that a woman reveals all her mental weaknesses, her life's hidden wounds, and all her heart's yearnings only to the person she trusts like a mountain from within. When she eventually feels that you respect her not just as a woman, but as a flesh and blood human being, and you value all her subtle emotions, only then does she completely surrender herself to you. Brother, when this soul-level understanding and affectionate bond are formed, a relationship transforms into the most beautiful, deep, and strong bond in the world. Being able to earn a woman's trust is the greatest achievement of a man's life. Because remember, she doesn't want to be embraced by your arms, but rather wants to wrap herself in the blanket of your selfless respect for a lifetime. Her silent surrender says that she has found her ultimate destination in your heart. Finally, let's talk about the seventh point, which separates a man from the ordinary crowd and elevates him to an extraordinary height. This is the unspoken, deep language of a woman's mind, which a man understands at the right time. That man learns to truly value a relationship. Look, brother, when a married woman is constantly sending you so many subtle signals or hints, the meaning is very clear. She doesn't just see you as an ordinary acquaintance, but wants to see you as an inseparable and special part of her life. She is entrusting all her secret beliefs and repressed emotions to you. When a man can read these silent languages correctly, he doesn't behave like the other ordinary boys. He then knows very well how to give a woman the respect she deserves and how to take care of her glass-like soft and sensitive feelings and protect them. Brother, this is a unique mental strength that takes the relationship between two people beyond worldly formalities and places it directly in the depths of the soul. A true man knows when to move forward with the depth of affection and when to protect that beloved person with infinite patience. When that woman once feels that you effortlessly understand her unspoken words, the language of her eyes, and the hot sighs accumulated in her heart, the sacred love mixed with respect that develops for you in her heart cannot be measured by any other wealth or metaphor in the world. At that moment, she doesn't need any further explanation through words. Her every magical smile, every mysterious gaze, and her every hot breath in your presence will then scream that she longs for only your company and existence. This kind of deep soul-level understanding is not just physical, brother. It is a magical and eternal bond between soul and soul. When you learn to feel these subtle matters in your heart, you will not just be a lover or a friend to her. Rather, you will become the biggest pillar of support in her life, a cool shade for her tired mind, and her true life partner to whom she can surrender her entire life without fear. So far, we have discussed in detail the 7 very secret and sensitive signals of a married woman's mind. To many, these things might seem a bit mysterious. To many others, they might have matched their life stories exactly. As we come to the end of our discussion, let's briefly review those hidden signals at a glance so you can easily remember those silent languages of love. 1. Mysterious change in behavior. Suddenly becoming very cheerful in front of you or becoming sulky for trivial reasons. This contrast indicates that a special place has been created for you in her heart. 2. Fixing her appearance. Small actions like repeatedly adjusting her hair or her dupatta in your presence are actually subconscious attempts to attract your attention. 3. Softness in voice. While normal with everyone else, when her voice becomes soft and magical like cotton while talking to you, understand that this is an expression of her deep emotional pull. 4. Loss of breath rhythm. If she becomes nervous when you are close and her breathing becomes heavy, it is a biological signal of her increased heartbeat. 5. Subtle hints or gestures. Even without directly saying, "I love you," indirect praises like, "It would be good to have someone like you beside me" in conversation are actually the hidden yearnings of her heart. 6. Thirst for a safe haven. She seeks not just a man in you, but a guardian or shelter with whom she can confidently express all her weaknesses and unspoken words. 7. Soul connection. When a man understands these silent languages, the relationship is no longer ordinary. It transforms into a magical bond of deep soul affection. Brother, this deep understanding is not just a worldly relationship. It is indeed a wonderful union of two souls. When you become a vigilant guardian of a woman's honor, her every hot breath will become a living love poem for you. Remember, love is not just about winning someone or possessing them. Love is about cherishing their existence with utmost tenderness and deep respect. If you can understand these very small and subtle hints at the right time and give her the respect she deserves and a little space for peace, then believe me, you will not just be an ordinary flesh and blood human being to her, but you will become her entire world. Her hidden tears beyond public eyes, her uncalled for sweet sulks, and the mysterious smile at the corners of her lips will all then be reserved only for you. Actually, all women in the world secretly want to find a man who can instantly read the cloudy sky in the corner of their heart without even seeing it. When you learn to understand her silent pleas and unspoken words, you will see how much more romantic, vibrant, and meaningful your life has become compared to before. Each of your days will then present itself with a new story of emotion and a new thrill. Friends, the main purpose of making this video today was to simplify those subtle moments in your lives and clarify the complex equations of relationships. If today's psychological discussion has touched any hidden corner of your mind, or if it has exactly matched a dusty story from your real life, then do not forget to give a like to the video. Your small like is a great inspiration and strength for us to create even more wonderful and perfect videos in the future. Do you have a special person in your mind whose magical language of the eyes you haven't been able to fully read yet? Or has a mysterious hint or incident happened in your life that still makes you think? Freely share your valuable experiences and feelings with us in the comment box below. I myself will read all your comments with great importance and eagerly await to know all those unspoken words. And to those who haven't yet become members of our loving family, my humble request is, if you want to keep yourself more updated, know the unseen mysteries of the human mind, and understand every step of life more beautifully from a psychological perspective, then click the subscribe button now and ring the bell icon. Your valuable subscription will make this community bigger, stronger, and more vibrant. I always try to make the very complex issues of your life simpler and simpler with the light of science and the touch of emotion. For today, I bid farewell from here, but don't worry, very soon I will be back with another exciting and psychological topic that will completely change your world of thought. Until then, take care of your mind, be extremely caring towards your loved ones around you, and always remember that mutual love and respect are the core principles of a beautiful and successful life. Stay healthy. Stay beautiful. Subscribe to the channel and always stay with us. Allah Hafez, and thank you.